I am going to make those skillet braised beans that I like to make, but I'm going to make it with cabbage this time. So just going to switch it up a little bit and thought I would film that. So I've got 4 pieces of delicious bacon that I got at Sprouts. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of garlic. I'm going to use about 1.5 ounces of this onion, 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to use this entire head of cabbage. I will wash it, chop it, and all that fun stuff. 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. I may do like sprinkle it with goat cheese, but I'm not going to put it on the whole thing. I'll just kind of do that as I eat it during the week. But this is going to be one of the side dishes for the week. So I'm going to start by chopping up the bacon like I do, and then I'm going to add it to my skillet. I went ahead and grabbed 2 more pieces of bacon because I felt like 4 just wasn't enough for this entire head of cabbage. So, you know, it's funny, when I was home in Canada in the summer, they called this stripy bacon, which is funny because my mom and I, when we went to Toronto to go see Come From Away and the Hockey Hall of Fame, we went to like an Irish, yeah, I think it was called the Irish Embassy. We went there for lunch. And I ordered, I had a burger without the bun on a salad and stuff, and I got bacon with it. And she was like, it's stripy bacon. I thought that was funny. I've never heard it referred to that as stripy bacon. But anyway, like I had mentioned in another video, Sprouts had their bacon on sale this week. So I went and bought like 5 pounds. So I thought, well, I can spare a little extra. I've got my skillet heated over there, my big old skillet. So I'm just going to chop up this bacon in kind of little bite-sized pieces. Well, I don't know, not bite-sized. They're like that. So, man, chopping that up. And then I'm going to chop up my onion. So I'll put the bacon in the skillet first and let it cook up a little bit. And then I'll put my onion and garlic in there with it and let that cook up. And then I'll have time while that is cooking to chop up that huge head of cabbage, which I haven't used cabbage in a while. So there is my bacon. I'm going to go add it to the skillet and then come back and chop up my onions. Bacon is cooking in the skillet, so I am going to chop up my onion. I have this food scale, again, yet another thing Reggie has bought me for, I don't know, I think it was for my birthday or something, but anyway, I do love this food scale. So I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of onion. Oh my gosh, I love when you do that. Like I just cut it off and it was exactly the amount I needed. Well, it's 1.6 ounces of onion, but close enough. So man, I love that. Just like when like I eat almonds, it's such a silly little talent I like to think I have, but I can reach into the bag and pull out exactly 20 almonds. I do it like 9 out of 10 times. And that's usually like how many I like to eat at a time, you know, when I'm keeping it in control. If not, then I eat like half the bag. I try not to do that anymore. But anyway, yeah, so I chopped up my 1.6 ounces of onion. I've got my garlic. I'm going to put a tablespoon of this in with the bacon that is already sizzling. I might let it cook for a few more minutes and then pop that in there. And then I'm going to chop up this huge head of cabbage. So I will get to work on that. So it looks like my bacon, onions, and garlic are done. So I'm going to take them off the stove and drain it on the paper towel. And again, have incredible restraint because I'm not going to eat any of that. So then I just put my skillet back on the stove and I grab my cabbage. And I forget, I have not cooked with cabbage in so long, but it's so much cabbage in one head. So I kind of got to do it in two parts. And my strainer wasn't big enough. So I'm actually just going to let this part cook down a little bit first. And then I'll add more in. This is like my biggest skillet and I don't have enough room. So I'm going to just let this kind of cook down before I add the second half of the cabbage. It's a whole lot of cabbage. I'm just going to go and get my oil and butter ready, but I'm not going to add that until I add the second half of the cabbage. Hopefully it will all fit in my skillet. So my cabbage is taking a little bit longer to get smaller. So I'm going to put the lid on for a little bit because I still have to get this much cabbage in before I add back my bacon and onions. So I'm going to let it cook down like that a little bit and then add in my oil and vinegar and butter. So I have now added all of the cabbage in there. So I'm adding my butter, my 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then my 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar, and then I'm going to add a little salt and pepper as well and let this cook down for a good while. It's really taking a long time to make, I don't know what the word is, I guess cook down, right? So anyway, some salt and a little pepper. And then I will just keep stirring it carefully. I'm a bit of a rigorous stirrer, so this is good practice for me because you just gotta, like, if you have a bigger pan, this would not be a problem at all. So I'm just gonna keep on letting it go down, letting it cook, letting it wilt, I guess. Wilt. I guess you want it to wilt, right? So anyway, I'm also cooking some yummy chicken thighs over here that I coated in olive oil and some different spices. So those look like they're cooking up nice. We've been barbecuing so much, I think I forgot about even just doing things on the stove. So cooking that up as well. Right, exciting news. My cabbage is finally, what's the word I'm trying to say? Tender. There we go. It's finally tender enough for me to add in the deliciousness that is the bacon and onions. There's a little olive oil left. I'm just going to pop that in there. And garlic. So I'm going to pop this back in there, stir it up, and probably have some for lunch. So here is the bacon goodness. I'm going to scrape that right in there. And whoopsie, can't waste any of that precious bacon. And then start stirring it up. I could have even done more bacon, I think. But yeah, I think this will be really good. I'm really going to add some goat cheese to mine. And I'm probably going to have some for lunch, I'm thinking. Or I'm going to have some of that jalapeno popper cauliflower casserole. Ooh, I finally said it right. That I made last night. So I'm going to let this kind of just meld together. Yeah, definitely wish I put more bacon on there, but it's still going to be good. So I'm going to just let it kind of cook together and let the flavors all meld. Golly, and I don't know. I think I'm just going to do 1 cup servings, because if not, that's way too much cabbage to eat, I think. So 1 cup servings I think will be good, and that's a lot of servings. So I'm hoping it's good. Like I said, I haven't done this with cabbage before, but the flavor is so good. So I've now done it with Brussels sprouts, green beans, and now cabbage. So I'm sure it will be awesome.